Do you fly actually widowwood or?
Yeah, we fly widowwood cocks and widowwood hens. Some would say it's a roundabout system, but it isn't. It's its own little system that we've devised, and again, it's just for easiness. As you can see, I'm built for comfort, not speed. And
well, as you get older, Rob, you want it easy, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't want to.
People make pigeon racing complicated. Me, keep it simple.
Yeah.
We'll show you around lofts at a later time, because it's easier to show you and try and explain it. But basically, the cocks are kept in one end of the shed, the hens are kept in other. They're not allowed in the boxes at all. They go in the box on a Friday for an hour before they go. When they come home, they're allowed in the box section until about 4 o'clock,
when we get bored,
5 o'clock when we're ready to go home. And then the cocks go back into their section, the hens go back into their section.
What you find is though, they're ready to go in the sections then, aren't they?
Yeah, we've had them come together, cocks and hens paired together, and a lot of people, oh, they'll fly around, they won't win ours running. Because I believe the box is the motivation.
Right.
The loft is the street. The box is that's home. That's where he wants to be. It's only the same as if I fall out with our lass. I'll go out 3 or 4 days, I'm not bothered. But after 3 or 4 days I want to come home. Because it's home. As daft as it seems, and that we deprive the pigeons of home all week. When we let them in on a Friday, I believe we've got the extra motivation that we need just to get that extra yard. That's all you're looking for.
That pip.
You're just looking for that. That's all it takes. That's the difference of winning and losing.
What we do find in all is, on that system, is if the cock comes and his hen's not here, he's not bothered. And if the hen comes and the cock's not there, she's not bothered. We do keep 2 trapper cocks and 2 trapper hens. The cocks might tread a trapper, but you know, if she tries to go to his box, he kicks her out. And same with the hens. The hens might let a trapper tread them or one of the other cocks, but if they try and go to that box, they don't let them in.
So
it's fight. So when we come back from base, it's terrible. We have to be very careful, you know, to get in, because they'll tread on the floor, anything. But when they go up to the boxes, it's hell on, and it's really difficult. And on some Saturdays, isn't it, to keep?
Some Saturdays you've literally got to fasten them up.
Because a cock will go.
Well, obviously you're telling us roughly of the pigeons.
The loft.
How big are your lofts?
36.
Old birds, or
Old birds.
Old bird for this widowwood racing?
36 foot by 9, and it's split into 3 sections. The section with the boxes in the middle, and then
2 side sections.
And they're 10 by 9 sections on the end, and that allows 24 cocks, 24 hens. But we've never had 24 cocks, so
we never managed to get.
Never managed to get 24.
Usually about 18 cocks.
Obviously, you're better off if you've got less anyway. They always say if you've got, they perform better, don't they?
Yeah.
I believe where pigeon men again make a mistake is they'll get a little bit of success, so they'll think straight away I'll have another 10 pigeons. You're better off getting rid of 10.
Yeah.
Keep a few.
And having so many boxes empty.
Keep it simple. Just keep it simple.
About the lofts, I know a lot of people go on about ventilation.
Right.
We ain't got one. It's a porter cabin. It's square. I read about ventilation. I read about dry, clean, all these things, and we used to do all these things. And then when we put these lofts up, we did. How it come about? When we put the pigeons in, we didn't have time to alter everything, because the youngsters come as the sheds come.
Right.
And we always said, right, we'll put ventilation in, we'll put this in. And it never got put in, but the pigeons started to win. So we never did it. So when we shut our door, it's it, that's it. But I've heard them say about leaks. And I think to myself, well, that can't be right, because as you've seen, our old bird loft's got a big hole in it. And the water drips down and it runs into shed.
So you've got its own fungus.
Its own fungus, as you've seen. And I remember a writer coming, a scribe, not mention his name, and it was brilliant. And we just won 4th and 5th section in a really bad fillets race. That two bumped straight on top of each other. Do you know what I mean? Two ends paired together. Again, lesbian ends. It don't make no difference with our system if they're paired up. Makes no difference whatsoever. So he comes and he says, Rob says, I remember Rob said, I'll take you in and show you ends, how we do it. He said, oh, weird this, you've no ventilation and all. And he says, yeah, he says, they're just having a bath in their own indoor swimming pool at the moment. He said, oh, you put bath in shed? I said, no, I said, it comes through there. And he looked, and he opened the door and he looked and they were having a bath. And he looked at us, he says, if I show anyone this loft, I'm going to put this pigeon sport back 20 years. I said, why? He said, well, you've got to have them clean, dry, ventilated. He says, yours stinks. He says, it's got water in it, you've no ventilation. I said, I have. I said, what? I said, rat it in there. I said, I haven't blocked it up yet, but I'll block it up today. He says, how do they win? Simple. Good pigeons.
Going
That's
back
it.
to Barry Nicholas, good pigeons.
We've always said, anyone who gets our pigeons, if they ever look after them,
They're going to win.
God knows what they're going to do.
Oh, we've had people come and buy our pigeons off of us and I have to start laughing because we do it wrong.
Everyone, you know what I mean?
I thought, well, God help you if you do
But
it
you
right.
see in
then,
the shed,
'cause-
you see in the old bird shed and the young bird shed. One thing we do put a big emphasis on is the young birds must have an aviary.
Yeah, it's a must.
It's a must for young ones, as you've seen. And the old birds, they have a little one, but they only go in it when it's
When we're breeding.
when we're breeding. Do you know what I mean? It's just so they're a lot easier.
With the young birds, because obviously we breed our young birds probably later than most people. The reason for that is the age, I believe, is so important.
So if you breed them a bit later than most people, what would be the ideal time to pair the pigeons up to get the hatching time of these super performances you've done at national level or right through to national level?
Go to Blackpool, enjoy yourself,
Yeah.
come home and put your serious head on.
So you'd be talking 3rd week in January,
Yeah.
pairing them up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that would be getting roughly
Yeah.
the first week in March hatch, end of February hatch, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
If,
usually
if,
part
if you
that.
look about your eggs being laid from like the 7th to the 14th of February, as a rule them youngsters will win from the first race to the last race.
Right.
What we found is when we bred early, and I'm talking we better go and knock on his door because
Rings are ready.
we need these rings.
December, like.
Yeah.
We've had,
They,
it's been a lot of work.
start
hasn't it?
off absolute phenomenal. You know, they were unbeatable. But after 4 or 5 races
That
you were
was-
scratching your head. What's up with these?
It was hard work.
And they won't fly around shed, they won't do out.
Not only that, it's harder work, colder temperatures, a lot more corn when it's probably not needed. You know, using to keeping
Exactly.
young birds longer, as you know.
You've got to look after young ones longer.
Yeah.
And it's a pain. Do you know what I mean? You're training earlier when they were early.
When you're younger, you're keener and you think that's the be all end
Too
all
much
because
hard
you
work.
don't know until later till you've tried other methods and you want it easier. And if it is
Want it
easier,
easy.
you keep to that easy system, don't you?
From what we found, well, when we bred later ones, wasn't it? They started ranging about 3rd race. They'd start ranging.
When you want your pigeons to fly, we go to club, and bearing in mind, if you lads coming home, if young ones are flying an hour and a half, 2 hours, go to them over at Moonfield, because they're going to win that.
We used to have the young when it comes
It's all
to
the same as us. What's the point of us being super fit in May, went racing in August? By the time August comes, they've had enough. They're fed up.
that's
They don't
right.
want to fly anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas ours, they're bred when they're bred, and we won't even let them out. Well, end of May. They're kept in.
sometimes later.
Sometimes even later. We've let them out.
6 weeks before first
And-
race once, didn't we?
Yeah, and you have a few fly away like, because they're a bit too strong on wing, but
Yeah, but you get them brainians or what you think, mate.
Well, we had the
going
aviaries.
back to the aviary, and that's why I believe you've got to have the aviary. They can have a look round.
You can concentrate on your old ones a lot longer, so you put more work into them. The young ones, you just take them off dart, feeding them. Let them go through molt with no stress because they're not going out.
That's right.
They're not having to dodge birds of prey.
When you've got
It's
cocks,
it's a lot everything to look at, yeah.
when you've got cocks and hens, you've got 4 hours a day just looking after them. And then you start chucking 2 hours into young birds, it's 6 hours a day now, and it's too much.
A lot too much.
yeah, your hobby is now becoming an obsession. And you know, when it becomes an obsession, that's when it's time to really sit back and think, I'm doing something wrong, because you should love going out to the garden. You know, why make it hard? You know, I've seen feeding systems where teaspoon of this, pinch of that, and this bit of, as I said, once in the morning as much as they can eat, and as much as again at night as much as they can eat.
Is that when that's when you're racing, Rob, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I believe the easiest way would probably be to whopper feed.
That's why the sheds are designed like they are, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's for the easiness.
Just easy.
Easy,
Keep
simple,
things
isn't it?
simple.
And not only that, it's coming to prove the point. You don't need these fancy this and these fancy cleaning out, but
You know that 20
chuck
grand?
everything out.
I know the lads who build lofts are laid just for saying this, but you know that 10 and 20 and 30 grand you spend on loft? Spend it on good pigeons.
Find the good pigeons. If you
Buy
want
it.
a tile shed, then by all means you'll
Do
do
it
that one.
afterwards. But find the good pigeons
Find the
first.
good pigeons, because they're harder to find than what people think. They're not born every day.
They're very hard to find.
Yes.
And some people will go through life and never find any.
We've been lucky to touch wood, to drop on wherever we've been.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's stockmanship, stock sense or whatever, I don't know what it is. But 9 out of 10 times, if we're going to pick a pigeon at a loft or a sale or whatever, if we both agree on the pigeon, I haven't seen one yet where we both agreed on it, haven't produced what we wanted it to do. You know what I mean?
Well, that's good, isn't it? That's exceptional, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it, like you said, for that to happen, you need that extreme look on
Yes.
your side.
Look.
I also,
Look, honestly, it's look.
I also believe if more people put pigeons that bought or haven't produced
Innit?
away,
Away.
instead of putting them back on the market,
Yeah,
this job of finding them would be easier.
it's not that a lot's trying to get the money back because
Yes.
they've spent big money and
I
they've
can
not turned
understand
out.
that.
They're trying to get it back, which, like you say, but it's taking the sport down because
Yes.
people's then going took down, and then they disheartened, then
It's
they
so-
spent a lot of money and they're no good.
It's too hard to find, once they keep putting bad pigeons back on the market, they produce bad pigeons. And before long, they produce 2, they produce 4, they produce 16, 32. Do you understand what I
They
mean?
end up, that's why people's getting all these flyaways, they're spending thousands of pounds every year,
Yeah.
they're losing 100 pigeons before they
If
realise.
people,
They're not off for work pigeons, see?
I know people say, yeah, but I spent £300 on that pigeon, I want my £200 back at least, or £300 back.
Yeah.
But if you put that away in bin, when you went out and bought a £200 pigeon, you would get a good pigeon. They'd be easy to find because good pigeons then would produce.
Yeah, if everybody were doing the job
Everyone
right
did
for
the same,
work,
yes.
yeah.